Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Tamara Russell, and I'm going to be using this video to share some insights about one of the body and mind training exercises called Going Big. Going Big is the exercise that we use in the final compassion session of the BMT training program. We've come through explorations of pacing, intentions, attention, and habits. And then we arrive at the superpower of self-compassion as a way to really help us find and experience the benefits of mindfulness. The BMT methodology is based on an integrative, holistic approach to health. We recognize and understand that what we do with our body impacts on our mind and brain. And so the core intention of the Going Big exercise is to find in the body the movement that encapsulates and supports the mental movement that we want to train when we meet struggles, when we meet challenges, and when we find ourselves in situations where things are not as we want them to be. The exercise that I like to use is one that comes from Tai Chi and Qigong practice. So BMT mixes and blends exercises and insights from neuroscience and Tai Chi to promote the conceptual and experiential understanding of what it means to be mindful. And the Going Big exercise invites us literally to go big with our arms, with our hands, and open our hearts, literally open our hearts. And it's through this movement of the body, the opening, the embracing, the grounding, that we can use our body and our movements, our physical movements, to help to support the mental movement. Over time and with practice, we're able to do this movement in our minds, going big, widening the aperture of attention to create space around our mental struggles. But when we're first starting out, this can be quite a difficult concept to understand. It actually sounds a bit paradoxical because everything that the mind and brain wants to do is get very close and tight around our struggle. And we're actually saying, no, we want to expand around it. We want to create some space around it in order to see its full expression, to understand what's around the edges of our struggle, the other contextual features. And as one student said, when she did the Going Big exercise, it became really clear that there were many other factors that were contributing to the distress that she hadn't been able to see in that initial engagement with the challenge, where it was all quite tight and quite narrow. So Going Big allows us to get more data about what's around our struggle, and through this knowledge there may be some other possibilities of how we might cope. For me, the physical experience of opening the chest and opening the heart feels really important, because when I'm struggling or when I'm faced with a challenge, I notice that my heart can become very small and condensed and contracted, and that mirrors what's going on in my attention network. And sometimes my whole body also takes that posture and shape. So for me, the opening of the arms, squeezing the shoulder blades together, really helps me to remind myself through a body movement and posture that I want to try to be open-hearted. I want to try to be generous, even when I find that I'm struggling. One of the critical elements there as well is the reversing the movement, but here with a different intention, a kind intention, a compassionate intention, which is embracing this movement of a hug, again, to help our mind tune into the orientation of engaging with our struggles kindly, embracing them, and giving them a warm hug, Even if it's not a warm experience, can we hold the intention, the attitude of kindness towards our struggles? That can often be pivotal for some. And you can adapt if you feel like making that a full hug, if you feel like bringing your hands right into the chest there, it's open to adaptations. But what typically follows is the hands going back down to the ground, rediscovering the soles of the feet, the contact with the earth. This is another way that we can meet challenges and struggles wisely, is with the awareness that even though the head is exploding, the heart is exploding, the body is full of emotion, what are the sensations of the feet on the ground? How is the earth holding us and supporting us through our challenges? And the metaphor and imagery of a tree comes to me sometimes here. The roots deep in the ground, holding us firm to the earth, even though there may be a storm up above, and the branches are getting ripped off and the leaves are getting ripped off. Can we bend and flex in the storms, knowing that our feet still are making contact with the earth, and that's something very real that's happening here and now. I'm grounded. My feet are here on the ground. So the going big, as it's traditionally taught, has these 4 parts: allowing, opening, embracing, and grounding. And you can just make the physical movement, or you can begin to introduce some of these conceptual intentions around allowing, giving more space, embracing, and grounding. And we sometimes also do this with a live provocation, which is by inviting the mind to bring to awareness, to remember a situation of challenge or struggle. Begin to notice how that emerges in the body, in the physical sensations of emotion in the body, in the heart, and then start using the physical movement to support the mental movement to engage with that difficult experience in a different way. So this is how the mind and the body are used together to promote the understanding of mindfulness. This is at the heart of the mindfulness in motion approach that you can find out more about in my book, Mindfulness in Motion. But of course, we're really open to adaptations. One of our key themes in BMT is meet people where they're at and allow thoughtful adaptations based on the core principles. So one client I worked with said, well, he really needed this exercise at the bus stop, particularly when he noticed thoughts about being looked at or judged or others commenting on him, and he didn't feel confident to do the full movement. So he adapted it by just having his hands by the sides of the body and creating a smaller movement. You might even just have a hand that opens and closes, anything in the physical moving system that captures these elements of allowing, opening, kindly embracing, making contact in a kind way, and grounding. So I'll let you explore and see how you get on. I wish you well. I do suggest starting with something that's a mild to moderate challenge, and of course repetition, going again and again is often part of the process. You're not going to solve it in one exercise, but you may discover something different that piques your curiosity or gives you another angle for you to look at and engage with what's really troubling you or worrying you or distressing you. So wish you well. Bye-bye.